you want to push off? Chief, how long do you have long?
30 seconds, I can make it quick.
Do you want to carry number 9 as well? Since there's not enough information about what it
Yeah, let's
actually
push
is.
off 9.
Okay. All right, let's vote. Okay, and then let's start with our, thank you. Let's start with our public safety
We'll
update.
make it real fast.
Bring it up to speed.
Just have to speak real fast, I just talked to Greg, they're gonna strike tomorrow the parking lot. So if you guys can put it on Facebook, we'll do the Dixel for businesses and residents. So they said we'll have it, they'll start first day, they'll have it done by after early, so we'll make sure we get that checked out tomorrow. We'll have the new paved area, we'll have that, make sure it's cleared out, a lot of guys are early
Let
to
me
make
just
sure.
ask, Chris, could you see if we can get that on a sign and post it to the Borough website today? And then Mark, you'll take care of the social media
Yeah.
broadcasting.
So we'll make sure we have guys early, so just,
What are the times?
we're gonna have that lock closed off by 7 o'clock in the morning.
So you want everyone out there by 7
7 a.m.
until they're done?
Until they're done, it's also already in the afternoon, so I know they're gonna, once they get set up, they go pretty fast to their Joe, or correct?
This is all East Ocean Avenue.
All of East Ocean Avenue.
But then that is got to dry.
Well,
That is got to dry, right? Or
all with thermal plastic, it's, as soon as it gets cold, and once it starts, what's it called, cooling off,
It dries pretty
it
much.
dries pretty much the
Okay.
same.
I'll just say 7 a.m.
Are you guys striking Church Street too?
They're gonna try, it depends on the time and weather, so they're definitely gonna do parking lot, and then if they have to go back and do other.
Okay, so keep that in mind too.
Okay, just real quick, so we had multiple arrests last month, criminal mischiefs, disorderly conducts, we had multiple warrants, arrest for controlled dangerous substances. We assisted other departments over 12 times last month. We had 73 more vehicle stops, and we served numerous restraining orders, temporary restraining orders for certain domestic violence situations, and that's all I have for you guys to go. Any questions about anything? It was busy over Thanksgiving, as it always is, but I must say, we just don't get the drunk drivers like we used to. Everyone's Ubering, which is great. There's
A lot of Uber.
a lot of Uber, which is good for us because it's just training, so thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Next up, we have our capital projects update. Joe, you can give us a rundown?
Sure. The new municipal complex hopefully will be ready to move in within the next couple of weeks. One problem with the elevator right now is holding us up, but we've given the okay to reprogram it so that it works cooperatively with our fire alarm system. We have ongoing meetings with the bonding company on this building, and the bonding company's been very cooperative and is finishing some of the tasks. And I believe next week the doors are coming in here. Is that correct? Sean or Dave?
Yes.
And they are they've corrected the problem with the decking out front, and they're being cooperative at this point to finish the job that the previous contractor that filed for bankruptcy did not complete. So the bonding company has stepped up.
So that does not cost the municipality anything.
Correct.
I think it's important to note that, the construction company for this building was in fact bonded. And so those items that need to be repaired or replaced are coming from the bond and are no additional costs being borne by the borough taxpayer for this.
No, and quite frankly, we're still in the budget for this project at the pavilion. So we're on target for what approvals we got from the voters.
How about some of our other projects here going on?
Well, the paving project that Greg just talked about, it went really well. Mountain View Way looks really good. We're gonna get a
Very happy about that.
guardrail at the end,
Yes.
because I have to call the county on that.
Yeah, I have to tell them to send it over to you guys.
It's way too nice. And we the guardrail.
Because it looks like you could just drive into the river.
Exactly.
What did you call it down?
I'm gonna get a price from them to do the guardrail
Oh.
instead of, the contractor. I'm sorry, I should have said that. So Greg and Fran and I met, and they're gonna put a small design together because we need one there.
I'm sorry, where?
At the end of Mountain View Way.
Just so people don't drive into the river.
Be careful, talk to me. I'll talk to you.
Okay. Thank you.
aware, under capital projects, the beach replenishment has started in Monmouth Beach. Monthly construction meetings are held by the Army Corps and the DEP. Those will start happening once a week, and the clerk has information about the meetings should you be interested in participating.
Are they saying whether or not driving down
Yes.
Well, they'll work their way north, and as they get closer to Seabright, they'll start talking to us about where they're going to stage a localized run. But it's important that we monitor.
I just know what's coming here, so
Well, they're starting in Monmouth Beach and going to Seabury, and then they're going to go back to Long Bridge, because us and Monmouth Beach has a plover issue, so they have to be done
yeah, okay.
prior to the season, and then they'll go back to Long Bridge and finish Long Bridge.
Good.
So they should be done for our season.
Oh, yeah.
They move pretty quick.
Yeah, they were talking about a 3-month,
They move quick.
go through by March.
I'll say it's,
City County put that on, kicking in there, 40-50%.
We just do, we put that is an assumptive close, and, we're just, we're an assumptive closing now.
Yeah, I believe the county will participate because they were involved in the meetings, and they understand that the state is going to be doing most of the towns that need it. So, they're going to have to pony up pretty soon. That's all I have on that.
And then just going along, Joe, while we got you in the hot seat, you talked to us, I know Councilman Kelly is not here, but I know that you've all been working on putting together a flood control program with Councilman Rooney.
Yes, Charlie, you want to talk a little bit about it, or Greg, and Greg and T&M, we asked them for a proposal. We talked about, we talked about a 3-pronged plan for flooding in the downtown area. Some are a lot more expensive, like bulkhead. I mean, we all know that that's probably a good idea. Where we get that money from is another question. But inline check valves, flood control, and bulkheads, and what was the third prong?
Well, the other is DOT, and that's how we talk about that, on 36.
Well, no, the DOT's agreed to put in check valves in North Beach.
Oh, and Ella, you were going to do the pump station.
Pump stations was the third prong. Upgrading the pump stations to handle more capacity. Where we get the money from is another question, but we do know, and a decision hasn't been made entirely, but we do know we have a developer downtown that is interested in doing work down there, and they're going to have to be a party to dealing with the floods, as you've all said, as part of their approval process. So that's something. But the inline check valves, especially on River Street, Peninsula, and Island View, are the 3 areas that we want to first concentrate on. Go ahead, Greg or Charlie.
So this proposal that I passed out to you is only for River Street, as we discussed. There's 2 options here. It's the first option is just replace the existing valve bills on the end of the 2 pipes that are out there with new inline check valves. The pipes are, I believe, 18-inch pipes, so we'd be installing 2 of them. Option B would be to reroute the drainage on the southern side so that it connects to the pipe outfall on the northern side, deactivate the existing outfall so that there's only one outfall. Now, the thought process, I think, behind this was that later down the road, when we had to replace the check valves again, 10 years when the useful life is done, we'd only be replacing one rather than 2.
There are 2 pipes that run through the bulkhead. The proposal is to, the south end, just put a manhole there and bring it over to the other one. So that you only need one inline check valve, but it's a little more expensive.
But you're also increasing the size of that check valve and that outfall.
Correct, and that's, I want to get into that. If we look at the second photo that I passed around, if we deactivated the one on the south, we would almost certainly have to upgrade the size of the one on the northern side to take the capacity that we're losing from that additional outfall. And in doing so, the cost of a check valve would be probably a 30-inch pipe if we upsize that, is double the price of a check valve that's an 18-inch valve. So I don't see that there's really any cost saving.
Yeah.
So that's why we asked you to do this.
Yeah.
So you're saying stay with both?
I would say stay with both.
Any answers or questions?
So will this be on the agenda for Tuesday night to approve this?
It could be. Do you have an estimate on the total project cost in here?
So, no. Not 4,000.
That's them.
That's our.
Oh, that's your fee.
He only has given us the engineering
Yeah, I
costs.
got it.
So construction cost, we would estimate is probably around 20 grand per outfall, just for a safe assumption for budgeting purposes, with soft costs. So
is soft?
4,800.
That's their,
That's the soft cost for our.
So we have to approve their fee
So
first,
we-
they would have on, that's all we have to bid.
We would have to go
Well,
out
then I gotta
and
find-
investigate the pipe,
We gotta move for this.
make sure that the condition of the pipe is acceptable for inserting a
We
valve.
will next year, you know.
We would have to prepare plans and specs, because we're going to public bid. Have public bids accepted, make a recommendation on the board, and then very limited time just to go out there and inspect this when they install.
Well, potentially, if we were only doing one bid, is the bid threshold 21.5? If you were doing one valve? So
I think we're doing both valves, I think that, so,
Oh, you're doing it.
so option A would be to do both valves, option B would be one valve, but it's double the price, so essentially it would be almost the same cost. Actually, option B would be more because you would be adding pipe work, and you would be adding, you'd have to repair the bulkhead that you,
How do we get away so clean on Church Street with the inline valve? How come the inline
There
valve
wasn't
on
that much on
Church Street
Church
cost
Street.
us
Well, Church Street,
$7,000 and
It was
this is
smaller, but
20?
the valve was about 2,500, 2,600 just to purchase. And then the installation cost was $5 grand.
But it was, with everything, it was under 10, wasn't it?
That's what I'm trying to wrap my head around, 20,000 per pipe when we managed to do one for
The
under
one on
10.
Church, they didn't remove the duct still.
Yeah, so that was part of the other thing. They have to
So they, we had
existing
a manhole
duct.
that there's a hole that they can get, there's an access port that they can get in, and they just they put it in on the inward side, the landward side of, so they went in that portal and then stuck the valve in there.
I'm actually going to need to talk to Mike anyway on this. We met last week. I asked them to give us a proposal to do it, how much it would cost and everything else. Let me talk to Mike.
Yeah.
Maybe we're going to talk
Get
about
to Public Works and get their recommendation.
Well, we're meeting with another company on next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday. Wade-Pro. We're going for
And
Wade-Pro.
I can tell you,
Yeah.
the Black Row valves are essentially double the price of the Tyvek valves. And I have those.
Church Street.
Well, Tyvek's
Definitely,
is not awesome, you know, it's in the wintertime when the river gets icy, they freeze, right? They,
Tyflex is the company, they make the inline valve as well.
oh, they do?
They make the duct work.
Yeah,
do your thing.
Oh, I thought,
Which is
when
the
you said Tyvek, I assumed you were talking
Tyflex
about
is the one
double.
that's in.
We installed
Church
Tyvek
Street.
in Church Street.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's the one, Tyflex is the one that's been giving us problems on Church Street.
I was saying, I know it's near, but.
So we're not going to do this here.
No, yeah.
We only have one more meeting.
Well, I'm saying, so it's going to be done.
January 14th.
No, let's move
The one
on.
on Hudson Street.
Church Street.
So, let's bring this back around.
In
So-
January.
So what I'm hearing is this is an item that's gonna get some more work by the administrator and the committee, and it will be back on your next workshop for update, right?
Sounds good.
Alright. We're skipping number 5, going on to number 6, we've got, the beach capper permit, Joey, just give it.
You're the one that got it for us.
So we have been trying to get a CAFRA permit. We are trying to get that basketball court done. We were trying to get the new public access stairs included. And then there was a discussion about, and parking. And then there was discussion about potentially running water and electricity out to the beach to supply future cabanas. So when the cost of the CAFRA permit was calculated based on the size of the property, which is our lot block of the beach, and so the CAFRA permit was $32,000. At which point Joe said.
The whole project is a good cost there.
So we started putting some phone calls, working with the DEP, and they basically recommended removing the beach facility aspect from our application, meaning the power and water that could supply future cabanas. If we remove them from the application, we can modify our existing applications and get approval quickly, and it will only cost $500.
So what is that? That's just the basketball court? and
That's the
stairs?
basketball court.
Stairs and the additional parking.
Okay.
Yep, so my recommendation would be, could we do that to at least finish part of the project, and then for your potential water and power lines, that will have to be a separate application. And when you do that, the recommendation from the DEP is that you subdivide the property, the beach lots, so that your permit calculation will be based on the lot size of where we want to do the work. So wherever you want to put your power service, that should be its own lot and block identifier. So you may want to divide it up. I don't know how many feet increments, width makes sense, but you should probably parcel that out so that you don't find yourself in a $32,000 permit situation in the future.
They're basing it on 27 acres, the size of our beach is the permit application.
Well,
So they're saying basically we put the parking that we're trying to use a 27,000 acre.
they only can look at it as, I know this is now, they only can look at it as one big lot, which is crazy. But
Yeah, so in the future, if you want to do things, you may want to subdivide the
it
lot
makes sense, it's just
to make it
saying,
more
right?
attractive.
Break it up.
50 by 25.
Zero traps.
Break it up into parcels.
Hey, those are the rules.
So we just finished the one application and we gotta do another application.
Well, then you really should do a subdivision, as the mayor said, and then go into another application.
There.
And the only reason at this point, we need to move forward with the one application because we need to have that parking.
Right.
Yeah, we want that.
Parking, and then, throwing in basketball courts that are extra.
So,
And the
So
stairways.
that's a public
Just showing the
access
stairways.
amenity that actually counts towards our beach access lawsuit from 10 years.
So I can give Avakian the go-ahead to remove from that application.
yes, you can.
So just hold it forward, you know, we say, so if we do subdivide the properties and do like we're saying, the beach, if we wanted to put cabanas eventually down at that end where we originally thought to put them, and then we switched it at the end, put them over here, we'd have to go over another capital.
Yes.
So the
Unfortunately,
32,000, not that I'm saying we should do the 30, but that would take over the whole beach. We would always be able to put cabanas anywhere on the beach. Would that,
I don't know that.
would we have to reapply?
well,
Or would we one-shot?
they're indicated on a plan.
They
You would have
like
to,
it,
we have
but
to amend the plan to show where
that's why our
you're now putting them.
applications-
It wouldn't be an open, like, just a week wherever you want.
For some reason, and the mayor made the call to DEP, they're kind of frowning on cabanas. And I don't know why, but.
It bogged down the application.
Because they're probably, I don't know, but I'm assuming they're probably looking at it as that hurts open access because you're taking up space that you're now illegalizing to a specific person.
Nobody
That's
said that to
probably what
me.
it
They
is.
did not say that to me.
But
They
that
said
is
it
probably
was
logic.
the cabanas bogged down the application.
My guess is that's why.
So
And
you
then
gotta
it gets-
Subdivide.
subdivide the properties and then go back or subdivide.
Because if you're just putting like one electric and water service, what are you gonna pay $32,000 for? Like, make a lot, that's for your electric and
Well, you
water
could make a
service.
plan with all of it and not do all of it.
Well, no,
At this time,
I
you
believe
have a plan for the whole thing, you say, here it is, here's the plan.
we weren't actually even asking for the cabanas on this plan, you were just asking for the water and power.
Is that right?
Well, yeah, because that's a permanent structure, the other were
And then you
temporary
go back to
structures.
the cabanas?
No, they were temporary structures, you wouldn't need the same approval. But the water and electric they considered permanent structures on the beach. Because they were physically going to stay
I said,
there.
you can do it, you just don't have to pay so much if you would parcel your lot.
Right.
So in other words, the next time we do the capital permit, we break it out into individual parcels for what we want and what we think we want, and then apply the permit, and then we have everything covered.
And then it would be based on that square footage, not on 27 acres.
So,
Beach.
We can do it piecemeal and just do this one and then another one for that section later on if we want to do that, or we just do it all in one, like if that helps.
But then your application is gonna be $500, right, or $1,000.
Or something reasonable anyway.
Fishing pier.
Typical.
What is a fishing pier?
All right, Charlotte,
Oh,
talk about
fishing,
fishing.
yeah. Well, this is something that I brought up to Joe Tour, the county engineer, when they're going to redo the bridge, if we could somehow have a fishing pier on the north side of the new bridge, which would be actually in the Anchorage Park area. So if you wanted to fish, you would park your cars in the Anchorage lot, walk across, you have a pier that would go out into the river, which is where.
Your idea would be to leave portion of the existing.
Well, he said they could not do that.
Oh, okay.
They would have to build the pier out, which he thinks is a great idea because the DEP is all about access. And the fishermen, I've talked to some of the fishermen to get their input on it, to get an idea. And they're saying like the thing that where they want to be is out over the river, casting, depending on whichever one.
Plus they're building a pier on the Rumson side.
Well, that would be exactly, that was one of the things that Joe said. You could say to the state that, look, you know, you did this on the Rumson side, they have their little, it goes underneath, right? You can sit down there and look at the river, and then on the Seabright side, we're gonna get the fishing pier.
Is the county gonna pay for this as part of the?
Well, yeah, be part of the project. Not the county. He thinks the DEP would do this, the state, because it's Green Acres.
That's property acquisition, but there actually is a public access fund.
Yeah.
Potentially.
And the other thing that I told him about was extending the bulkhead for the new bridge to Rooney Park.
Would they think
That bulkhead needs to be replaced.
I haven't had a discussion.
Yeah, do you know, would the county make that application, or would we make that?
No,
application?
they want us to include that in our drawing of the Anchorage Park and present that.
To the DEP.
They asked for that.
Have you run this by any of the boaters in town, especially on the south end?
To talk to the what?
The boaters. Because, I mean, you're putting a fishing pier in that river, you're narrowing the flow in that river. I mean, you're not putting a pier into the channel, but you're definitely narrowing the flow of traffic.
No, you still go through the middle of the bridge, you know? I mean, that bridge is pretty low.
No, I'm saying, you got a river right now, and they can get through wherever they need to. You put a pier out, you're now narrowing the channel that the boats can get through.
No, go look at it.
I don't fish, but I know that it's a great spot for the fishermen. And so if you could figure out how to make that happen without having the taxpayers of Seabright pay for it.
I agree, if we can figure it out, I'm for anything that gets some activity in that
Yeah,
park.
yeah.
So
I would definitely get some input on the boaters.
we are quite, well, first of all, you gotta figure out how it's gonna be funded. I mean, that's the most important thing.
Yeah, that would be part of the project.
What project?
The bridge project.
I'll tell you what,
I know who come from the county, but it wouldn't come from us.
It doesn't come from us.
Why don't you ask the administrator to invite Joe Tour to come over and just talk with us about ways that it could happen? And maybe
That's a
Joe.
good idea, yeah, because we basically need a bridge update meeting anyway. So I think that'd be great.
Yeah, no
problem.
He wants it to be our idea though.
That's fine.
Well, we're gonna tell them it's all right.
Well, it is our idea.
Yeah, he thinks
But
that.
let's figure out how to do
It's
it.
his idea that, you know, they're at their max.
Yeah.
What they want us to.
I think it's a great idea.
And there might be other ways to access that, too, like other ways to look at the project that could open up potential grant funding through the county, or who knows, maybe Lima Conservation Foundation will help with that because it's preserving.
It's a no-brainer. These fishermen are all over the place in the morning.
Again, as long as they always put all these problems in, things like the environmental impact studies and everything like that, just pays for all that. The state pays for all that. That's why I can't get Bruce Park done.
Yeah.
You know, it needs to be done.
My father's boss still sits in the yard.
So I'll just move along. You have attached in your packet the pricing for the animal control shelter. I think Joe just wanted to bring it to our attention how expensive it is. If or when animal control has to come to remove an animal. I don't know what other options we would have though.
What about the humane society? Do you have the option to choose between the two?
Yeah,
I think we do.
Associated Humane may be cheaper.
Well, good job.
We
I mean,
could-
you got to look at the cats, and it costs $340.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the bottom line.
And the reason we brought this, because we've talked about it, the Stavola company is in the process of demolition permits for a lot of their existing buildings down there that have been boarded up. So this may become an increased problem with cats that are currently, we saw an uptick when the school went down.
Yes, as soon as, they've already started pulling those buildings down. As soon as they pull that down, a couple more, the other buildings that are not being used at all.
That big grocery building, well, that's pretty secure, but, you know.
No, it's not. It's
No.
just a home.
No, that's what it is.
So you got the other calls.
I'll talk to Suzanne.
The other thing that we did proactively, when I took over CP, we had a flare-up with the feral cat population, and we actually sat down with SPCA. We worked together with them to come up with a humane plan for how to deal with it, and so they applied for a grant, and for a while we had a reduced cost trap and neuter release through SPCA, which is I think why we're still in agreement with them. So if it becomes a problem, maybe we want to invite them here and ask for their advice and help.
And then, but it's a great idea, but as we all know, they require us to then relocate them back to our town. Just saying.
We need to take them to a farm.
We carry number 5.
Just move them to a farm somewhere.
All right,
Carry number 9.
we're carrying,
All
all right, the important thing left on our agenda, number 10, we promised Allison Cheney at 8:30 that we were going to talk about the community room rental regulations. So I'd like to.
My feeling is until you get that board situation worked out, we can't let this go. That's my feeling. Because you can't have people renting the space out and that door locked.
But can we start talking about fees and things like that, so we always get bogged down and who can use it and who can't? And
You know what, one way to get started, Joe, would be to take the guidelines that I know you've already been thinking about, some of them, and create it in a document that could circulate to the council, and then which committee will take responsibility for it. Mark, you take that on as administration?
That's fine.
Okay, and then maybe Joe will give you a starting place, and then I'd like to see it in a document that everybody can put eyes on.
It's not going to be out Tuesday.
no.
Can we get it, the document circulated before the end of the year, so that way,
I mean, Chris has a file of Spring Lake Heights, Belmar, all of their rental policies and numbers. What I can do is maybe let's put that in a chart form, like Belmar, Spring, I'll do it. Okay.
something just to get everybody started.
I made a fee structure like a year ago.
You did, I remember talking about it.
Right, well, that's the thing, so marry the fee structure to the rules document, and then,
All right.
I think it's not gonna be a perfect one from the start. But we need to get something down and then modify the rules and regulations.
Joe, I was talking to the,
Get what works.
had a meeting here. Obviously, they're not getting charges, clean it up, but if anybody within the town, you have to have a little low rate. But you gotta remember, somebody's gotta come in here.
We're not allowed to discriminate between towns and non-towns. We're not allowed.
Somebody's gonna come in here and clean the bathrooms, open the place, close the place. So they can't do that. It can't be like $100, you know?
No, I.
And there might be a different rate for during normal business hours than
Right.
evenings and
And weekends.
weekends.
All right, so
just once
so
there's a
eventually,
document, you guys have something. that
All right, you're gonna have a
debate.
we'll circulate it,
I'll do
and
that.
that'll need to be ready for Tuesday.
No, but I'll make sure you guys have it in the next
Can
week
you,
or so.
can you put on your next workshop?
Yes.
And then,
So I'll have to meet before this.
So we'll need to know, cost of DPW, somebody from DPW being on this call during the party, how long, for the hours. Yeah,
you know, somebody
You
needs to
gotta have
have
somebody-
because something goes
Oh,
wrong.
if it's
What's the minimum, 3 hours?
Someone here.
What's that? What's the minimum, 3 hours? Two. Two is a minimum for DPW, so you're talking
Could be
2 hours to open the door, 2 hours to close the door. If it's a 4-hour party, you're charging 4 hours. So you need 4 hours, you got the cost of DPW, you need the cost of cleaning the room, cleaning the bathrooms, you need to cover all that cost, so.
Right. All right, we'll have a draft too.
And then, we have number 11, rejecting bids for beach businesses. Joe, just explain that to us.
We've had several comments, criticisms, and requests as a result of the bids. Chris wrote some of them, and some of them are as simple as, do they have to bid for 2 years?
No, I think what you should do is, we should reject all bids, we should re-advertise, we should make it clear that you can bid up to 2 years. And that way you're not requiring them to bid for 2 years. They only want to bid for 1 year, they bid for 1 year.
Can you do that?
Yeah.
I don't know, but how do we evaluate them? If somebody
If
bids,
someone bids a lot more money, which is the whole point of the whole thing, then they get whoever bids more money gets it.
but if somebody,
You only have one bidder.
What?
You only have one bidder.
Yeah, but that's not the
Right
issue.
now.
That's not the issue. You have to set what the policy is, and I thought that was the best way to go. Because I know there's some people who don't want to bid for 2 years. They don't want to bid 2-year contracts, they don't want to bid 1-year contracts. So let them bid 1-year contract. But if someone else wants to bid 2-year contracts on that same contract, why wouldn't we give it to them? If a yoga person comes in and wants to bid a 2-year yoga contract and they want to bid enough money to do that, then why would we not give it to them?
I don't want to create a problem, but if somebody bids $1,000 for 1 year, and somebody bids $1,500 for 2 years, who wins?
The money.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a cost model, how much are you gonna make for that?
That's right. I mean,
In 2 years, in 2 years, in 2 years, I'll make $750 as opposed to 1,000.
And Chris, we had 2 bidders for yoga.
Yes, so if you're gonna allow more than one business, I think you should say that in the bid specs.
Should have, but it doesn't say that.
I mean, we should say up to 3 bids.
Are all businesses gonna be allowed to have more than one?
No, I thought it was always the type of business it is dictates the amount of space we have.
Yes.
So like a yoga outfit, obviously we have a lot more room for that than we do for volleyball.
I think we allowed 2 for.
Yeah, that's right, I thought we were allowing more than one thing.
Well, we should indicate it, you're right. If we're gonna-
Absolutely.
And maybe
So
we'll,
is it just yoga? I mean, you can have more than one surf camp.
Not really, we don't have the space for it.
We had talked about, I thought the police were okay with more than one, I'm sorry, the John Pond was okay with more than one service. Because he can allocate where it's put.
We have hard to determine on certain days, if the waves are good up there, like who gets to use it that day.
I thought,
This worked out, this worked out.
I thought this was already in the.
Yeah, I thought so too.
It was already in the ordinance. I thought it was already in the thing. I thought we figured that out last year.
So did I. Talk to Don.
It was all, yeah,
not
it was all in the thing last year. Whatever we put out last year, all we're doing is extending it to up to 2 years rather than
Right.
1 year.
Because we want to run line by me, but we run line by me.
Well, Roger, we wrote it, it's 2-year language.
Okay.
And also, I've heard from, like, there's a lot of people out there teaching yoga.
Right.
Don't have licenses. There's really no enforcement of, and even Melissa said, a couple times she's been up there with a guy up there, with, a couple students doing surf lessons, like, if we're making some people pay to do it, we really have to make sure that nobody else
Absolutely.
knows.
Well, we did all
I
that.
thought it was on the public property, and that's why the bid process, I mean.
It was a public beach, you don't have control of the public beach.
Right, that's what I'm saying, well, that's the thing, like in North Beach, like, anybody can go teach anybody to surf, it's not under our
That's what there's no class,
jurisdiction.
should we just let them do it if they don't?
I don't know why we're reinventing the wheel here. We did this.
I'm telling you, this, people have been complaining about it when they brought their bids in. Other people are doing it.
Melissa's complaining is that there's people up there that are teaching classes that didn't pay. And how are we regulated, how are we
And
handling
should be allowed to do that.
on the public.
Yeah, but the thing is the question then lies where there's the gray area as to, okay, well, is it some guy teaching a couple of his friends, or are
Or is
they
it an
paying
organized
them,
class?
or are they paying? Is he running some kind of business?
Yeah, there's a difference.
But Melissa doesn't need our permit to have surf classes north of Anchorage.
No, I think we did. I think that was all.
That was included in it.
Because the whole point was the lifeguards are, she supplies her own lifeguards for up there. She has her own guards and everything for that. But there is always the potential that there may be an incident where our lifeguards have to be involved, and that's the whole point of it. And I swear, everything, like I said, like Mark said, this all worked out in our last year's.
If you need us to meet again, we'll meet again,
Ordinance.
But maybe send the bid specs one more time to Councilman Lundstein and the beach committee before they have a class. And then, looks like,
That's where
we
it's all
said we're gonna carry number 12, but that's a quick one, right? That's just 12 and 13 are announcements?
Well, 12 and 13, because of the new building next year, we believe that it's going to be better and easier for residents and non-residents to purchase badges at the beach office here in this building on weekends. And Don said he can open up the beach office one night a week. So that's when they're for sale, because currently we're selling it out of Borough Hall, but the new configuration isn't going to lend itself to that. So Don will man it. I think the residents will be fine with it. They know it's just weekends and one night a week.
I didn't see any.
2020 off borough closings?
There's just one thing, because of the way the holidays fall this year, the borough is usually closed the day after Christmas. Next year it's going to be a Saturday, so everyone was wondering if we could take that day and take half for the day before Christmas and half for the day before New Year's to be closed.
So you want to be closed like half a day for Christmas Eve?
We're normally closed half a day here and half a day here.
Okay.
Since this would be our normal day after holiday, take that day and use it as a half.
So they'd be closed both days, I guess. That's
Oh, so you'd be closed Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve? Yeah,